I have been a fully self-employed entrepreneur since July 2019. And whilst it is the most soul-fulfilling thing that I've ever done in my life, it is also very, very challenging. It really comes with a set of challenges that's very unique, to entrepreneurship, to small business, to doing your own thing. And so in this video, I want to share with you 5 very valuable tips that can help you if you would like to either go into self-employment, so you want to go into entrepreneurship. Maybe you've been doing it for a while, but it's a little bit rocky and you're struggling to get things going or to maintain them. It kind of seems like, the train might go a little bit off the cart. Or it could also be that you have experienced tremendous success in self-employment previously, but then, because the world has been changing so much recently, especially since the pandemic, that now it's a little bit difficult to get things going and you're not quite sure where to go from. Yeah. So if you fall into any of those categories, or you might even just consider self-employment, then you want to take a look at this video or maybe share it with somebody that can benefit from it, and stay all the way till the end, because there is a bonus tip at the end. And in my personal experience, this is the most important thing that you want to focus on and that you want to maintain if you want to be successful at entrepreneurship, at self-employment. But don't jump ahead. Watch the whole video from beginning to end, and I tie it all up for you in the end beautifully. All right. So welcome to the video. My name is Adrian Nelson. I'm a holistic wellness practitioner. I specialize in life transformation, helping people to discover their magic, those that are just ready to shine in life, those that are moving from corporate to a more spiritual, maybe sort of like self-employment vibe, and just generally anybody who is ready to live their greatest experience of life. It's my honor to support you. All the links of everything that I do, website, everything is down below in the description. You can check it out. For now, let's get straight into these 5 tips. So the first one is to find your niche. Now, finding your niche sounds like so simple, So what is it that you want to do? But here's the thing about finding your niche. First of all, I'm going to very, very strongly encourage you to establish what is your passion. Start with you. All right, start with you first. The people in life that are most successful and happy within that success, because here's the thing. You don't want to become very successful in your business, like lots and lots of money, all sorts of word of mouth, everything goes really, really great, but then you yourself don't feel comfortable in your life and in what you do. So my suggestion is that you first find out what is your passion if you're not aware of that yet. What is it that you can do at any given point in time, whether you get paid, whether you don't get paid, whether you're having the greatest day of your life, whether you're having the worst day of your life. What is that something that you can simply do? And here's the thing about that. A lot of times when we can really establish what that is for us, your fears kick in and say, well, how can I actually even make money from that? So for those of you that follow me, you would know that I'm a regression hypnosis practitioner. I do Reiki massages, I do holistic consultation, I do distance Reiki healing. But essentially, when I really think about it, I am known as the tarot guy. I've been doing tarot for more than 20 years. I've always been fascinated by tarot. That is predominantly what my courses revolve around, what my coaching revolves around, what my clientele comes to see me for. But back in 2018, when I wanted to really start my own business and I started to become serious about it, first of all, I didn't think that it was possible. I wish I could come across a video like this back in 2018 to let me know that your big impossible dream is possible. Okay, but the one thing that I was thinking about is, what is it that I can do? And for me, that was reading the tarot. But the thoughts that were going through my mind was, well, who would want to come to me for a reading? There are thousands of tarot readers out there. They are online, they do Facebook Lives, they're on Instagram, they're on YouTube, there's lots of courses. Who would want to come to me? And my best friend, and this ties in with that bonus point that is so important that I want to share with you at the end. My best friend said, yes, that is true. However, none of them are you. So in looking for your niche and what it is that you'd like to do, start with you. Start with your passion. What is it that you like to do? And a lot of times what you might like to do might not fit as snugly into the picture of what other people might expect of you to do. Okay? And then again, it brings me back to that final point which we're going to speak about. But first, find your passion. What is the thing that makes your heart go boop? What is the thing that makes your heart smile and that makes your cells sparkle and that gets you excited? That is where you want to start. Is that inspiration that you want to start. And it's my belief that the inspiration that we experience in our hearts comes directly from spirit, comes directly from source of all, because source would like to express that possibility through you. And if you say yes to it, life will meet you all the way. You take the one step, life will meet you 99% along the way. So I know that it's very, very scary, because sometimes we want to think of, well, what is going to make me money? What is going to be able to buy me a house? What's going to get me a car? And yes, we have to consider those logical things in life. But this is what I know for sure, is that when you follow your passion, when you follow your light, not only will you get all of those things that your heart desires, but you will get so much more. Because when you are living in alignment with the dream that the Creator dreamed for you, when you were called into being, then you can know for sure, you follow that passion, it's going to work for you. Okay? Number 2, advertising. Now, advertising, and there's also going to be another point for marketing specifically, but let's first speak about advertising. Letting people know that you are out there. And with advertising, it means that somehow you're going to have to let people know that you have an amazing service that they can benefit from. Now, I know when it comes to sharing what we have available, it can be very, very scary. Really, I understand that very, very well. It can be really, really scary. And we want to say to ourselves, I don't want to be in my ego. I don't want to sort of every time people open their social media, I don't always want to be there in their face, seeming all pushy, seeming all desperate. And here is a thought for you to consider, which really changed things for me. And it went like this. If I have a service that I can offer, or a product that I can offer, but if I have a service that I can offer, then other people can benefit from the service. And my goal is really to somehow be of service of humanity, because when you come from a point of being of service to humanity, you have 98% of the race. Okay? And remember that there are people out there that are praying for exactly what it is that you have to offer. Okay? And so when it comes to advertising, don't you think it's unfair if you have something available that can benefit other people and you don't let them know about it? So don't think of trying to shove something down someone's throat. It is about saying, this is what I have, and this could be of benefit to you. Okay? And when we come from that point, then we don't have to go into that space of overthinking, oh my goodness, what will this person think? What will that person think? Won't they think I'm pushing too hard and stuff like that? You are simply letting people know, this is the product that I have, this is how it can help you, and this is how it's available. This is how you can get it. All right, short, simple, sweet. The right people will resonate with it. Now we're going to speak about the right people in the next point, which is point number 3. And this is often referred to as your client avatar. Now, when I started, and for the longest period of time, I wanted to serve everybody. I wanted to be there for everyone, and I really, really tried to stretch myself across the board, sometimes so thinly, because I wanted to be there for everyone. I can tell you something for nothing. That is not going to work. All right? You have a certain product that you are passionate about, and you want to put it out there to let people know that this is the product that you have or the service that you have, and you want to advertise it to the people that's going to resonate with it. This is your client avatar. And your client avatar is a person that they have a certain sort of life. All right. And I want to give you an example of that. And with that, I'm also going to let you know how easy it is for us to miss that sometimes. So, what you want to do when you start off very, very freshly, or when things have been going really, really well for you, but then you got to a stage where it's not going so well anymore. You want to establish who that client avatar of yours is, and maybe it's time to change that client avatar. Okay? Because if you've been in the game for a while, then your client avatar may have moved on. They may be in a different space, they're in a different mindset, in a different life. They may be dead. They may no longer need your service. All right? So your client avatar is one person. It is one person that you are providing your service for. And you want to know what that one person looks like. So in my case, and it's not about limiting myself to a certain group only, it is about being clear in your mind who you are serving, because you want to show up for the people that want you to show up. There's always going to be naysayers. There's always going to be people that are willing to talk you down and to break you down, and it's going to say, like, who do you think you are? You know, you're so full of yourself. You're not showing up for those people. You are showing up for the people that want you to show up for them. And this is why it's so important that you create your client avatar. And you want to be sure that this client avatar that you create is in alignment with your passion, with your personality. Someone that you can just have a conversation with. So at the moment, I am speaking to my client avatar. Doesn't mean that my service is limited to that person, but I am speaking to my niche. And my niche is women between the ages of usually about 35 to 55. These women typically have a child. It's not necessary, but they usually have a child. More often than not, they live alone. She may have been married, she's now divorced, she's having some challenges in a relationship, or she might like to go into that next level of a relationship. And the way that I came across this client avatar of mine is by simply paying attention to the kind of people that are coming to me. So initially I did just put out my service there for everyone, and I would start seeing who are the people that are coming to me. And don't be afraid to ask people questions. Ask them, why is it that you chose to come to me from the thousands of other people that you had? And they would say, I just resonated with you. I just felt safe with you. It felt like I could be vulnerable with you, that I could be myself with you. You know, that I could cry if I needed to cry, that I can trust you. And it may be very hard to sometimes initially wrap your mind around that. But when you follow your passion, you come from true integrity, real morals, you know, not pretend and make believe. You let people know what you have. The people that your service is going to resonate with are going to come to you. So a good idea is to do some research before you start whatever it is that you're going to start, and to say, okay, this is what I have. First and foremost, who do I want to be of service to? Who am I comfortable speaking to and dealing with? Not who can I bully and who can I sort of, you know, sort of like bullshit into giving me their money and stuff. But who am I comfortable with sharing my passion? All right? And so first of all, it comes from you. And then who are these people? What do they look like? What are their days like? You know, how are you going to do it? Are you going to do it online? Are you going to do it in person? How are you going to do it? And this brings me to the second part of your client avatar, where you may have experienced tremendous success previously in what it is that you do, but now you are finding yourself very challenged to actually make things happen. And to give you an example, let's say you've been in business for like 15, 20, 30 years. So back in the day, let's say you were an entertainer of sorts, all right? Let's say that you were a singer, just as an example. Let's say you were a singer. And you had a lot of success, you know, you would put on shows and people would come to your concerts and it would be beautiful, and you put on events and it's just amazing, and it really just worked. Absolutely beautiful. And that was wonderful because that was perfect for you at the time, okay? And it was wonderful because we didn't have the internet and people didn't have all these distractions in their life, and it will be a real event, and maybe you'll go for, you know, for a bite to eat beforehand, or you have a glass of wine, before the event, after the event. Maybe it's like a nice date that you do. It's a beautiful experience. It's a wonderful way of going to see this person in person. Because remember, pre-internet, people would still be a little bit of an enigma if they did something. But then the internet really obviously went to the next level, especially, with the pandemic. Everybody got used to being inside of their houses. Everybody got used to getting everything on their phones. And yes, when the lockdowns ended, it was still a wonderful thing to be able to go places, but the world has fundamentally changed. So it doesn't mean if you put on events before, for whatever it may be, it doesn't mean that you can't do it anymore. But the way that the world operates these days, at this particular point in time when I'm making this video, which is Monday, March the 11th, 2024 at 11:05 in the morning, the world is in a different, operating in a different way where people expect things to come to them. They don't see the need to go outside anymore. They don't have the need to go and see you in person because they can see you on their phones all the time. Okay? So then you maybe want to open yourself to the idea that yes, I can still follow my passion and I can still do what I'd like to do, but maybe I have to begin to look at it a little bit differently. And we're going to speak about this point a little bit more in the next point when we speak about marketing and creating a hook. Okay? But for now, I want you to think of this, because you may be at a point where you're feeling very discouraged, where you're saying to yourself, I don't know what I should do. Maybe I should just stop my business, do something different. But this is what I want you to remember, is that the people that you enjoyed tremendous success with before, those people may have moved on. In the sense that they are now older. They may be dead, maybe your niche before, if they were the people that would come to live events, think of it like this. It might not be that those people don't want to support you anymore, but it might be that those people are not so caught up with the internet, for example, So you can have all your wonderful products and you can put it out there, say maybe on YouTube and Spotify and, TikTok and all those types of things. But these people may not really be interested in those platforms. Those people might not even know about those platforms. And I know that if we are people that are operating on social media within our lives all the time, it seems almost inconceivable that somebody doesn't know what TikTok is or what Instagram is. But that is the reality of the situation. Or they might be aware of it, but they really couldn't give a flying fuck about it. You know what I mean? So they may be still open to going for entertainment somewhere else. So it's a bit of a, a tip of the balance there, like a balancing act basically of the scale. Okay? So you want to just bear that in mind. If you're brand new to service, who is your avatar? If you've been doing it for a while, it might be time to maybe, I won't say start from new or start from scratch, because you've been doing it for a while, but it might be time to come from the idea that maybe you might have fallen into a certain pattern of monotony within the self, a predictable way of going about things. And that can happen with us sometimes, because if you've been doing something for a significant period of time and it's been working well for that period of time, you are in a certain flow of how you do things. But it might be time to, to maybe again freshly take a breath and place your mindset in the mindset of the person that you would like to, attend whatever it is that you have to, to buy into your product and that sort of stuff. And sometimes you have to remind people of who you are. All right. Sometimes we are ready to get a brand new audience, but these people may not have known about you previously. So let's come back to the example of a singer, for example. These people may not know who you are. They may not have heard about you before. When maybe, their older siblings or their uncles and aunts and parents and whatever, when they were raving about you, you may have been in diapers. Your avatar may have been in diapers. They may have been in high school and stuff like that. They had other priorities. So sometimes it's a good idea to remind people of who you are. And that brings us to point number 4, which is the hook. Okay? So the hook is your marketing. Okay? You can think of this video as my hook. All right? But a hook is typically something shorter. It doesn't have to be. but it's typically something shorter. Your hook is giving people a taste of what you are all about, what it is that you can offer them. All right. I can work with a person, with a small group, with a large group, to help them to up productivity. Sometimes I work with small businesses, and it is really all about a mindset. So often we try to hop at our product. Is my product not good enough? Have I lost my touch? Is my service not good anymore? Am I at the end of my journey? Am I just washed out? Is there no more future for me? And in my experience, 99.9% of the time, I will even say 100% of the time, your service, your offer is very much sought after, actually very much needed. You maybe just need to package it in a different way. You need to let different people know that you have it. Okay? And also remember, people are busy. So don't be afraid to let people know, this is who I am, and this is what I have, and this is what I can do for you. Don't be afraid to do that. Okay? You're simply sharing with people that this is what I have. You're not trying to push them. You're not trying to force them. Okay? So your hook can be something shorter, like maybe like a 1-minute video, something like a reel, to let people know this is what I do. So for example, if you are new to my channel, welcome. Please consider subscribing. I do weekly YouTube videos for the different zodiac signs because I'm a tarot reader. And so I do short little videos, anything from maybe 10 minutes to 15 minutes per week for the different zodiac signs. If I don't always have time to do it, I'll maybe just do like pick a card, or I'll do like 1-minute videos for all the different zodiac energies, just to let people know this is who I am, this is what I can do for you, and this is how you can get more. Don't be afraid to let people know how you can get more. Tell them, check the link in the description, check the link in the bio, check the link to my website, wherever. Send me a text on this message, Because here's the thing, you may have a fantastic product, and people might be very keen to work with you. But if they have to try to get you and you want to be all mysterious and stuff, they're going to be like, oh, screw this person. Or something else is going to grab their attention. Okay? Let's go back to the example of a singer for a hook, for example. So that is how I do a hook as a tarot reader. And I'm going to just give you a couple of examples of a couple of different hooks. So let's say you're the singer. Maybe you do some lives online to let people know, this is a song that I recorded, this is what went around it, I wrote it, or this is how it came to me, this is the story behind it. People love stories. You don't have to go to town with it. 5 to 10 minutes is perfectly fine. And then sing them the song. And remember, you are still doing it for your avatar, for your client avatar. And remember, you are showing up for the people that want you to show up. You are showing up for your people. You are not showing up for the people that are not interested in you. You are not showing up for the cowboy, what I call them, keyboard cowboys that are just happy to rip other people off and to break other people and to say nasty stuff and things like that. You're not showing up for those people. Those people aren't your people. Okay? Whatever it is that you are inspired to give and to share, there are people out there who would appreciate you doing so. I have literally had people before who would say to me, I have prayed for someone like you. I have prayed for someone that does tarot, that does breath work, that does hypnosis, that does energy healing, that does massages. I have prayed for someone like this because I don't want to go from this person, and that person. Whereas there were many other people that told me before, Adrian, you can't do so many things. Because if you do all these many things, people will not be able to relate to you. They will say you're too flaky, you're too all over the board. But somehow it works for me. And I want you to remember, or rather, I want you to pay attention to this, that you can be inspired by other people that does something amazing. But let that inspiration that you get from them inspire you to follow your light. No two people are the same. All right? I can have another tarot reader living right next door to me, looking exactly like me, doing the same sort of service, same sort of price, and certain dynamics will resonate with me and certain dynamics will resonate with that person. So try to not make it a game of comparisons, because when you start to make it a game of comparisons, that is usually when you start to fall off the track, It's like one of my beautiful friends is actually a professional singer. And I remember something that she said a couple of years ago that really resonated with me. She said there's always going to be somebody that's prettier than you, and there's always going to be somebody that's got a sort of like a more beautiful voice than you and all that sort of stuff. Try not to get too into that. Okay? You are here for the people that you want to be here for. All right. And you can do different hooks. So let's say you want to be a baker. All right, what kind of baker would you like to be? Let's say you want to bake cupcakes. So do you want to do cupcakes maybe for like kids? Like you can do it for different, people, obviously, different sort of niches. But do you want to do it maybe for kids? Do you want to do something really grand and fancy for people that maybe want to get married or have a very sort of top billing sort of like event? Okay. Do you want to maybe, do you maybe want to get a bit raunchy with your cupcakes? Would that then maybe be for, ladies that want to have a bit more of a wild sort of, that I can't remember now, the party that you have before you get married? Or do you maybe want to do it for bikers? Because, bikers eat cake as well, So what is your product and who do you want to do it for? Okay. And so you want to really set out that up from the beginning, but also be open to the idea that the clientele that comes to you might be different from what you initially expected. So it is a game of trial and error. But here's the thing. The way that you find what works for you is by doing. It's by doing. Don't be afraid to fail. All right? As Louise Hay loved to remind us that just go ahead and make a decision. And if it doesn't work out for you, make another decision. All right. Matt Seifer, who is very involved in women empowerment and helping business grow, he recently said something that really resonated with me. And it was that the only mistake that you can really make is to not make a mistake. Because I'm telling you, you're going to run yourself into walls sometimes. And it's going to feel very unforgiving sometimes. And you are going to think to yourself, am I doing the right thing? Shouldn't I be doing something different? But it is by doing that you discover how to do things, and it becomes easier with time. All right? There was a time when I would have never made this video. Ever. Never. But as I've grown, I've become more comfortable. I've come to discover what are the questions that people are asking me, what are the clients that are coming to me, what are the concerns that are usually on their minds. I say, let me make a video for them. So that is really, really great. And in your marketing, you don't want to give everything away, but you want to be very mindful that you don't come from a point of almost like frugality, that you want to give people all this little bit of breadcrumbs that doesn't leave them inspired, but leaves them frustrated. All right. So here's the thing. If you are truly good at what you do, whatever it is, you will always have more to give. When I was a full-time photographer, before I was, doing the holistic work that I'm doing now, people always say to me, Adrian, you should watermark your images, because what if people steal your images? I'm like, this is my creativity, which I'm really brilliant at. If you steal my stuff, you'll only be able to steal it once. I will come up with something new. With that being said, it's entirely your prerogative, whether you go into watermark your things or not, in whichever capacity it resonates with you. Now, here's a big one, number 5, before we get to that bonus point. Clear booking instructions. We can be very sharing with what it is that we have to do. This is how I got there. This is what I have. Let's say you're a baker, you show to people, this is how I set up my baking, or any of those type of things. But when it comes to giving people the opportunity to book with us, there's all these fears that are kicking in, all these lack and limitation beliefs. Here's the thing. Remember, you are still not pushing people. You're following your passion. You are letting them know through your advertising what it is that you have available. You are very clear about who it is that you are doing that for, what it is that you can bring to their life. And this is what I want to say to you. When you bring something to people's life of real value, so you're not coming from shenanigans, you're coming from real value, they will be more than happy to pay you for that. Just be fair about it. Keep your pricing fair. And keeping your pricing fair doesn't mean that you undercut yourself. Because in my experience, sometimes people will not buy something from you because they feel it's too cheap. So they don't trust it. So it is a balance in between. Okay? And it's something that you want to work with. There can be some real fear sometimes with that. Okay? And the idea is that what we call in Reiki a fair energy exchange. You want the person that gets the service from you to be happy to pay for it, and you want to be happy to receive the compensation that you receive for the service that you give. That is what you want. Okay? So there's no bad vibes, no unspoken animosity. Because if there is, trust me, people are going to feel it. They may not specifically word it like that, but they will have ideas in their minds of, it was nice, but I don't know, something felt a little blah, a little off, a little haywire, So don't be afraid to let people know what you have. This is what I have. This is what it's about. This is what it can do for you. This is how it can benefit you. This is how it can help you. This is how you can get it. Clear instructions. Clear booking instructions. Okay? And I know that some people won't agree with me when I say this, but this is the way that I see it. If I am proud of the service that I offer, I am not afraid to put the rate over there. There are a few things in life that frustrates me more than when I see something that interests me, and then you try to take me to this whole thing of like, this is what I had, and this is what Becky said, and this is how Mark benefited, again and again and again. You try, and yes, there is a real, marketing strength in that. Don't get me wrong. But here's the thing: if I see something that I really, really want, and I say, yes, this is what I want to know how much is it, and how do I pay for it, and how do I book it, and how do I get it? How is it delivered to me? So in that sense, you again want to think of your client avatar. Is this person happy to read stuff, and as they go along this whole list, they go like, oh my goodness, this is so amazing, and they feel all inspired? Or are you like me? I know this is what I have, and this is how I can get it, and this is how it costs, and this is how I can book it. End of story. Okay, so those are some considerations there for you. But I am going to say to you, or I'm rather gonna give you something to think about. If you feel that you cannot place the rate for your service quite clearly for people right there to see, are you within yourself really confident in the service that you offer? Because if you are not, people are going to pick up on that. And one of the things that can make me turn away from you just like that is when I have to struggle to see the price. I have to struggle to understand how long is this going to take? How am I going to get it? How do I book it? Okay? And for example, for me personally, at this particular point in time, I don't necessarily like emails too much. I prefer getting a text on my phone. So for me, the preferred way for you to contact me is through WhatsApp. And so I'm going to communicate that to you. This is WhatsApp. This is how I'd like you to do it. This is how you can pay. This is how it works. Because when you think about it, you might say, well, don't I sell myself short, for example, if I only put that sort of communication out there? It doesn't have to be the only one. But if I prefer to predominantly work from my phone and to do things through WhatsApp text, maybe to send you links or whatever it is, the service itself doesn't have to take place over WhatsApp, but how do I prefer to communicate? What is always working? My phone, I prefer WhatsApp. Then in order to give somebody a good experience, a good sort of customer experience, maybe that is how you want to recommend that they contact you. Because chances are that the person that resonates with your service is also going to be a person that is operational on their phone via WhatsApp. Okay? So it is about knowing who you're going for, who you're offering your service to, and then your bonus stuff. This is really, really so important, and it's self-care. In entrepreneurship, especially when you are passionate about what you are doing, I remember I heard Mariah Carey say this a couple of years ago after she had a breakdown, and it really stayed with me. When you are really passionate about what you are doing, and you're doing it in your own capacity, more often than not, there's nobody that's going to say to you, hey, you know what, you should take a break. They just let you do your thing. If you are, say, for example, alone in your home, your space, your office, wherever you are, there's nobody that's typically, overseeing you. So it is of vital importance that you take good care of yourself. If you are a solopreneur, so you're a person that is just alone in your business, especially if you're a solopreneur, the onus lies on you to make sure that you are well, because you are your business. And if you don't do well, then the business doesn't do well. Okay? And also going hand in hand with that is the company that you keep. It is of vital importance. The company that you keep, it can make you or it can break you. And unfortunately, it is the truth that a lot of people that we would like to go with us and grow with us are quite simply not ready. And when we try so hard to make them be ready, we normally have to tone ourselves down a little bit, and there's an unspoken sort of like silent motivation, expectation for them to rise a little so we can meet each other in the middle, and neither party is confident. All right? I keep my friends as friends, and I keep my clients as clients. All right? And it obviously depends on your business. But in my business, for example, it's not viable for me to become these buddies with my client. For the simple reason that, you know, when you become buddies sometimes, you step out of that space of being someone that can support, you know, boundaries are being crossed and all those sort of things. So you want to be mindful of that. Now I'm going to recommend that you have a group of personal friends that you can just be you with. Whatever it is that you need to do, being you in your own personal capacity. You can, you know, do what it is that you want to do. Just be human. And especially when you are in a position where you maybe become a more sort of prominent public figure, you know, people can really begin to sing your praises and your head goes zing, oh my goodness, I'm so amazing, you know. And that is something that can really grow to your detriment really fast. So you want to make sure that you've got a group of people, at least one. I've got beautiful people in my life, but then, you know, right from the very start, I had my best friend of so many years who was there with me all the way through the journey. And you want people that you can talk to, that you can say, I'm having a horrible day, I feel like giving up. It's all becoming so much. You know, there was a time when people started to recognize me in the street. I had some real anxiety that I wanted to lock myself up in the apartment for 2 to 3 months on end. I go literally outside to go get my groceries delivered to my gate. Okay? So it's very important that the company that you keep. And even in so saying, when it comes to working with other people, collaboration, you know, networking and stuff like that, be sure that you work with people that are on your level or striving to be on your level with integrity, you know. They don't just want to sort of like ride on the gravy cart that is you. Okay? It's very important, the company that you keep. And just finishing off with networking. So people have this idea, this is in my point of view, people have this idea with networking event that it's about picking up clients. For me, networking is about making connections. It's about making those connections that maybe I do this, you do that, what can we do together type of thing. Okay? And at a networking event, you might not meet a client, but at a networking event that I just happen to be at because I happen to be helping out another friend of mine, I happen to meet, now nothing is really a coincidence, but I happen to meet this wonderful lady who we became amazing friends. And then when I happen to want to move to this beautiful area that I really love, she happens to have a house there, she happens to have some connections there, and she happens to be able to set me up. So think of networking in that sense. How can we help each other? Making money is up to you. All right? That's your thing. Okay? But I just wanted to make this video to just maybe share some things that have been working for me. I don't think I've told you my name yet. Maybe I did. Anyway, my name is Adrian Nelson, Holistic Wellness Practitioner. And by all means, if you listen to this point, I thank you for that. I appreciate that. Go ahead and share your tips, you know, in the description. Let people know what really works for you, what is beneficial for you. You know, let's please keep the comments respectful. Let's be kind towards each other. My platform is all about supporting each other. All right? And I think very quickly, let me just add you a bonus in there. You know, so 2 bonuses. Another bonus in there. When it comes to your marketing, your online marketing, so basically like this, what are you trying to achieve through it? All right. We have this idea that in order to be successful online, it's all about likes and follows and subscribes. And if that is the way that you want to go, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But for me, it is about reaching that person that maybe doesn't know what to do, that feels in a corner, that feels alone, that feels contrived. You know, so maybe through my tarot reading, maybe I can help you with that. If you are ready to book a session, you'll book a session. If you're ready to book hypnosis, you'll book hypnosis. You know? So for me, it's not so much of a numbers game, even though obviously numbers are great. For me, my main motivation is not so much pushing up numbers. My game is to reach people that are in alignment with me. And obviously numbers makes that easier, you know, but the angle that I would probably take is a little bit different. Okay. I wish you all the best. You know, I always say that success is for courageous people. It's not easy to do your own business. So I really send you all the love from my heart. And let's support each other. Let's be there for one another. All right? We always grow stronger, better, easier, and faster when we support each other instead of breaking each other down. Okay? Namaste. Love and light. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video.